This is a reading from the Gospel of Luke. The shepherds went with haste to Bethlehem and found Mary and Joseph and the child lying in the manger. When they saw this, they made known what had been told them about this child, and all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds told them. But Mary treasured all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, as it had been told them. After 8 days had passed, it was time to circumcise the child, and he was called Jesus, the name given by the angel, before he was conceived in the womb. The Gospel of the Lord. In my office, I have a collection of little buildings and houses that I've collected over many years from places I've had the good fortune to visit. Each one of them holds a memory for me of a place, a time, and people. These memories are very heartwarming and reassuring and make me realize how lucky I am to have these memories and these places and people in my life. Although my father used to call them junk, they made me think of the words of the gospel, that Mary kept all these things, reflecting on them in her heart. Today we celebrate the feast of Mary, the Mother of God. We celebrate those things that Mary had in her heart and reflected on. They were the fruit of her yes to the angel Gabriel and her continual yes to the Father throughout her life. The initial willingness to fulfill the will of God led Mary to other moments, places, and people when another yes was required. Some of these were, as I mentioned, the visit of the angel Gabriel, the acceptance of her condition by Joseph after the angel came to him in a dream to reveal that this child was conceived through the Holy Spirit. The surprise when her cousin Elizabeth, inspired by the Holy Spirit, recognized that Mary had within her womb the Messiah. The visit of the shepherds to the stable in Bethlehem, telling her that angels had appeared to them in the fields, announcing the birth of the Messiah. The visit of the Magi, bringing gifts and claiming that they had followed a star, proclaiming that they would find the King of the Jews. The reaction of the prophet Simeon and the prophetess Anna when they brought the baby Jesus to the temple to fulfill the dedication demanded by the law of Moses. The flight into Egypt, again through the intervention of an angel in a dream of Joseph. The finding of the child Jesus, which we just heard recently, in the temple in Jerusalem after he had stayed behind after the Passover. The first miracle in the wedding feast of Cana. The rejection she witnessed of the people to the truth of her son's message. The joy of seeing his power revealed in his healings and in the truth that illuminated the people through his inspired words. The horrific suffering and death of her son, leading her to the foot of the cross of Calvary. Over and over again, Mary was confronted by mystery and the unknown, but she did not fear or doubt or protest. Rather, she renewed her yes to God each time and trusted that in all this, the will of God would be fulfilled. As we begin a new year, we are asked to follow the example of Mary. None of us know what lies ahead of us this year. Yet God asks us, like Mary, to trust in his presence, recount those memories of his presence and faithfulness in the past, and live each day in faith, hope, and love. Each day we are called to renew our yes that will allow us to cooperate with God's grace and be faithful as Mary was faithful. Thus, new memories will be created that we will also guard in our hearts, and they will give us strength and perseverance to live each day of 2025 as a day of the presence and the grace of God.